Fail big. Today's the beginning of the rest of your life, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. Hard work works.
So in creating these companies that we thought that we would be successful, I thought that the most likely outcome was failure. But it was still worth doing, even though the odds of success were low. In fact, even for SpaceX, originally what I started doing was not creating a rocket company, but actually was going to do a small mission to Mars, which was just a philanthropic mission where you would send a small greenhouse with seeds and dehydrated gel, and would, upon landing, hydrate the gel, and you'd have this cool picture of green plants on a red background. And the public tends to respond to precedents and superlatives. So this would be the first life on Mars, furthest that life's ever traveled, and you'd have this great money shot of green plants on a red background. So, yeah, I thought that would get people's attention. So, but the expectation for that was no return. So I thought we wouldn't get any, we'd just spend the money on that, and it wouldn't happen.
The fear of failure is actually rooted in the fear of rejection. We're afraid if we're not good and successful that we won't be accepted. If I fail my test, if I lose the race, or if I fail in any way, then I'm going to be criticized and rejected. I will not be chosen. You know, one of the things that I can remember from my childhood that was the most gut-wrenching to me, and this really was not even a good way for things to be done, but at the grade school I went to, we had a girls' softball team, and they would have 2 teams and 2 captains, and then the captains would stand there and choose out of the players who they wanted. Any of you remember that? Look at that. Wasn't that terrible? Now, if you happen to be the star player, it was a lot of fun. But here's the thing. In a situation like that, I thought about this today. Somebody was always last.
Man, my life is nothing but failure. And that's the only reason why I'm up here. I'm up here because I failed. I continue to fail. I love failure. The indomitable will, if you have a belief you can do something, the only way you grow that, like in the gym, you grow your muscles by actually exercising them. You know, you grow the love of you and your wife by caring for them and having their back. To grow the individual will to become something, you must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. They're the only one that moves that needle of life. Why is that? Because it's a report card back on your shortcomings. And once you know your shortcomings, then you know where you're going.
Thank you for watching, and please support Motivation University by sharing it and subscribing to get inspiring and new life-changing videos every week.